I was rinsing dishes after dinner when the words left Vanessa's mouth like poison-tipped arrows. She leaned against the counter in her designer blazer, fresh manicure tapping on the granite, as if the kitchen was her stage. "You know what, Adrian? I could replace you in 24 hours, she said, her voice sharp with that smug superiority she loved to wear whenever she thought she'd won an argument. We had been fighting about money again. Specifically, the $1,500 handbag she'd purchased that afternoon when we were supposed to be saving for the wedding. I thought it was a normal couple disagreement. Budgeting, priorities, compromise. Apparently, to her, it was a chance to declare her market value, to remind me that I was lucky to have her. I shut the faucet off, dried my hands slowly, buying myself time before I said something I couldn't take back. Then I turned to her, steady. "Prove it," I said. Her eyebrows shot up. She let out this laugh, the kind that always carried an edge of cruelty, the laugh she used when mocking her little sister or when a stranger mispronounced a designer's name. "What?" she asked, though her eyes gleamed. "You said 24 hours. Prove it. We're done. Clock starts now." She froze for a beat, then rolled her eyes like I was bluffing. "You wouldn't leave me, Adrian. You need me. You can't even keep your laundry sorted without me." I walked to the bedroom and pulled out a suitcase. My hands were steadier than I expected. 3 years together, and everything I cared to keep fit into 2 suitcases and a backpack. She followed me around the room, her words flying like knives. "You don't even know the Wi-Fi password. Your mom adores me more than she likes you. Good luck finding anyone who looks like me. I'm the one who pushed you for that architecture promotion. Don't forget that. Without me, you're nothing." That last one made me pause, not because it stung, but because I realized she actually believed it. By the time I zipped the suitcase shut, it was just past 8. My phone buzzed with a reply from my friend Marco, who said I could crash at his place. But another message popped up right after, one that would change everything. It was from Lena. She was Vanessa's best friend, at least in the public eye. The one Vanessa always labeled her untouchable model friend, the kind of woman Vanessa liked to show off for credibility. Lena and I had been acquaintances, nothing more. Vanessa had made it clear that I wasn't allowed to be too friendly with her. Red flag I should have paid attention to. The text read, "Heard you and Vanessa are done. She's already posting about it. Are you okay?" I stared at the screen. Then I typed back, heading to Marco's. She gave me 24 hours to be replaced. "So, Lena, come to mine instead. We should talk." When I knocked on Lena's apartment door at 9, I expected to see the polished goddess Vanessa flaunted online. Instead, she opened in sweatpants and an oversized hoodie, her dark hair pulled up in a messy bun. She looked real, human, exhausted, but radiant without trying. "Before you say anything," she said quickly, "I need to show you something I should have shown you 2 years ago." She held up her phone and opened a thread of messages between her and Vanessa. My stomach twisted as I read. "Adrian's getting too comfortable. I might monkey branch to that corporate lawyer from Pilates class. That's messed up, Vanessa. Adrian's good to you. Please. He's stable enough until I find better. Already added myself to his Amex. His credit score is perfect. LOL. There were dozens more. Screenshots of Vanessa's hidden dating profiles. Jokes about how my salary was cute but temporary. Backup boyfriend she kept warm. Comments about me being boring but useful. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked. Lena's eyes were wet but steady. I tried. "Remember that dinner where I kept hinting that you deserved someone who valued you? She threatened me afterward. Said if I told you anything, she'd spread fake rumors about me. Said she had pictures, evidence she could manipulate. She always held it over my head." I sat heavily on her couch, the betrayal burning in my chest. 3 years. 3 years of thinking I was building a life with someone who saw me as nothing but a placeholder until something shinier came along. Then Lena said the words that changed everything. "I've been in love with you since the night we met, but I thought she'd be better for you. God, I was so wrong." Silence filled the room. The air between us was heavy but not suffocating. For the first time in years, I felt seen. We stayed up talking until 4 in the morning. She let me crash in her guest room, and I stared at the ceiling for hours, my mind racing with everything I had just learned. Meanwhile, Vanessa was busy running her 24-hour replacement race. By hour 3, she'd posted a sultry selfie with the caption, "Single and ready to mingle. Applications open." The likes poured in, over 200 within minutes. Dozens of messages from men in her DMs. She screenshotted them and bragged about her options. By hour 6, she was bar hopping with her friends, posting blurry videos captioned, "Where are all the real men at?" By hour 12, she was back at her apartment with a guy named Chad, a fitness trainer with biceps bigger than his vocabulary. She posted a cryptic shot of his back with the caption, "Upgrade." Already. By hour 16, Chad was gone. Vanessa posted a crying selfie, then deleted it. Her next story said, "Know your worth, ladies." By hour 21, the panic set in. She started texting me from 3 different numbers, each more desperate than the last. "I win. I replaced you. Can we talk?" This isn't what I meant. At 7:23 the next evening, the 24 hours officially ended. At 7:24, Lena posted a photo of us at dinner. Just 2 friends eating sushi. Nothing romantic. Caption simply, "Good company." My phone exploded. Vanessa called Lena instantly, screaming. Lena put her on speaker. "You backstabbing whore. He's mine. You dumped him. Vanessa, you said it yourself. It was just a fight. And you know the girl code." "Girl code doesn't apply when you treat people like objects," Lena said calmly. Vanessa shrieked and hung up. That was only the beginning. The morning after Lena posted that sushi picture, I woke up to the phone buzzing itself off the nightstand. Dozens of notifications. Missed calls from Vanessa. Messages from unknown numbers. Screenshots from Marco, who was laughing his head off. "Bro," he texted, "she's in full meltdown mode. You need to see her stories." Against my better judgment, I opened Instagram. Vanessa had gone nuclear. The first post was a black screen with white text. Betrayal always comes from those closest to you. Some people aren't who they seem. The next story was a picture of Lena from 2 years ago, captioned "Snake in Disguise." Then came the live video. Vanessa, eyes red and mascara running, talking to her followers. "I gave 3 years of my life to Adrian. 3 years. And in 24 hours, he runs off with my best friend? This is emotional abuse. This is narcissism. I was gaslit into believing he loved me, and now he's been exposed." The comments section wasn't exactly supportive. "Didn't you say you could replace him in 24 hours? Girl, you literally posted a dude's back yesterday. This ain't abuse. This is consequences." She ended the live after 10 minutes of ranting, clearly not getting the sympathy she wanted. Meanwhile, Lena sat across from me on her couch, scrolling quietly. She looked torn between pity and exasperation. "She's unraveling faster than I thought," she said softly. I rubbed my face. I should have seen this coming. The red flags weren't red, they were neon. "You wanted to believe in her," Lena said. "That's not a weakness. That's love." But whatever I had felt for Vanessa was quickly evaporating. Watching her scramble for validation, watching her smear Lena just to save face, it made me realize how much of my energy I'd wasted trying to hold us together. By day 3, Vanessa's smear campaign had escalated. She created a whole Instagram highlight reel titled "Betrayal," filled with screenshots of old texts with Lena, captions twisted to make Lena look like some obsessed stalker who had been plotting to steal me from day one. She tagged mutual friends, influencers, even a few local gossip pages. Then she texted me, "Your little rebound won't last. Lena just wants you to hurt me. She's been with half the city. You failed my test, Adrian. My mom already bought her dress. You have 48 hours to apologize, or I'm keeping the ring." The thing was, she didn't even have the ring. I bought it months ago, but it was still sitting in my drawer home. We hadn't even moved in together yet. Thank God. The next day, Marjorie called me. Vanessa's mother had always been polite, but distant. Now, she sounded frantic. "Adrian, sweetheart." she began, as if she hadn't just spent years ignoring my existence. Vanessa is heartbroken. What's this about leaving her over a silly fight? She said she could replace me in 24 hours. I told her. I took her at her word. That's just how she talks when she's anxious, Marjorie argued. She didn't mean it. She posted another man on her Instagram less than a day later. I reminded her. There was a pause. Then, with a sigh, she's grieving. Take her back. You'll never find another girl like her. That's the point, I said and hung up. Vanessa didn't take rejection well. She went from smear campaigns to sabotage. First, she called my firm and accused me of stealing company time and harassing female employees. Problem was, I worked from home and my boss, my cousin Rick, had known me since I was 5. He called laughing so hard he could barely breathe. Bro, he said between gasps, she told me you create a hostile work environment with your toxic masculinity. You haven't set foot in the office in 6 months. Then she shifted tactics. She started posting inspirational quotes about healing from narcissistic abuse. Her friend group rallied, at least on the surface, with podcasts and long captions about emotional manipulation. They didn't mention me by name, but it was obvious. Meanwhile, Lena and I, well, we weren't rushing into anything. We spent time together, quietly, walks in the park, cooking meals at her apartment. She showed me her photography projects, the way she captured light like it was a living thing. She was patient, never pushing, never asking for more than I could give. It wasn't a rebound. It was something real. But Vanessa couldn't stand it. 2 weeks later, she showed up at Lena's building at 11 at night. Security called up, saying a distressed woman was claiming her belongings were inside the apartment. We checked the lobby camera. There she was, Mascara Street, holding a cardboard box. She says you have her grandmother's ashes, the guard told us. Lena blinked. Her grandmother is alive and lives in Miami. We told them not to let her up, but Vanessa refused to leave. She started screaming in the lobby about stolen property. When the guards called the cops, she went live on Instagram. Her voice shook as she cried into her phone camera. I'm here trying to reclaim my belongings from my so-called best friend who stole my fiancée. And now they're calling the police on me. 200 people tuned in. Her mom commented, "Stay strong, baby." The cops arrived, tired expressions on their faces. "Ma'am, what exactly are you trying to retrieve?" One asked. "My emotional support hair straightener. My hoodie that's basically mine. 3 years of memories. My future fiancé." The officer stared. "Do you have any actual property here?" "He's my property," she screamed, pointing at the camera like I was some kind of kidnapped hostage. "He's being manipulated." They escorted her out, warning her about trespassing. She called them fascists, still live streaming, until they put her in the back of a cruiser to remove her from the property. The best comment on the live came from someone named Tyler. "Didn't you say you could replace him in 24 hours? It's been 2 weeks, sis." She blocked him mid-scream. By then, the 24-hour challenge had turned into a 24-day disaster. 3 weeks after the breakup, I thought maybe, just maybe, Vanessa would finally cool down. I was wrong. If part 1 was a breakup, and part 2 was the smear campaign, part 3 was a circus. It started with Chad. Remember him? The gym trainer she paraded on Instagram the day after telling me she could replace me in 24 hours. Well, Chad turned out to be married. His wife, a fiery woman named Emily, caught wind of Vanessa's new man posts and stormed into the gym mid-shift. The entire scene was caught on video by some guy on a treadmill. Emily walked in, slammed a protein shaker on the counter, and shouted, "So this is what you're doing when you say you're running boot camps?" Chad stuttered. Vanessa, who had been sitting on a bench with her phone angled just right for selfies, stood up, horrified. "She doesn't mean anything," Chad said. Vanessa gasped like she'd been shot. "Excuse me." Emily turned to Vanessa. "You think you're special? You're the 5th this year. Take a number." The video went viral on TikTok. Within hours, Vanessa's name was trending locally with the hashtag #GymHomeWrecker. But Vanessa didn't back down. She doubled down. She posted a tearful live video claiming she had no idea Chad was married, that she was a real victim, that women should stand together against lying men. For a moment, she even gained sympathy, until screenshots surfaced of her demanding Emily with a smug, "He chose me, not you." By the time the dust settled, Chad had been fired. Emily filed for separation, and Vanessa's follower count dropped by 15K. But if you thought humiliation would slow her down, nope. A week later, Vanessa announced her engagement. I nearly choked on my coffee when I saw the post. A sparkly diamond ring, a blurry hand holding hers. Caption: "Found my real soulmate. Sometimes you have to lose trash to find treasure. Hashtag engaged, hashtag blessed." The comments were brutal. "Didn't you just get cheated on by Chad? Sis, it's been a month. Chill. Who is he? Blink twice if you kidnapped him." Turns out, the new fiancé was Dr. Ryan, a 27-year-old med student she met at some networking event. From what I could tell, Ryan looked less like a future husband and more like a man who hadn't yet realized what he'd signed up for. When mutual friends asked Ryan about the engagement, his answer was, "I don't know, man." She said it was for publicity. I thought it was a skit. But Vanessa wasn't joking. She started planning a wedding, publicly, posting mood boards, dress fittings, floral arrangements. She told everyone the date was set for 6 months out. Marjorie, bless her soul, was all in. She called me one night, voice strained. "Adrian, you must come to the wedding. Vanessa insists. It will prove you're over her." I laughed so hard I had to put the phone down. "Marjorie, the only thing I'll send is flowers to Ryan with a card that says run." The madness didn't stop there. One of Lena's co-workers, a gallery owner, forwarded us a sponsorship pitch Vanessa had sent. She wanted brands to pay for her revenge wedding, framing it as a bold feminist statement, reclaiming power after betrayal. The pitch deck. Yes, she made a deck, literally had a slide that read, "If Beyoncé can turn heartbreak into lemonade, I can turn betrayal into marriage." The brands weren't impressed. Screenshots of the deck leaked, and Vanessa became the punchline of half the city's group chats. Meanwhile, her influencer deals started drying up. One boutique unfollowed her after she no-showed a sponsored photo shoot. A skincare company pulled out after customers spammed their posts with hashtag #JimHomewrecker. The spiral was undeniable. But instead of slowing down, Vanessa shifted gears again. She showed up at the gallery where Lena was showcasing her latest photography. Walked right in uninvited, in a sequin dress that screamed desperation. She cornered Lena near the refreshments. "You think you've won," she hissed. "Adrian is only with you because I let him go. He's obsessed with me. He'll come crawling back." Lena didn't flinch. "Vanessa, you're embarrassing yourself. You're a placeholder." Vanessa spat. "He'll get bored of your artsy nonsense. You don't even wear makeup properly. Look at me. Look at what you'll never be." I walked up mid-rant. "You're right. Lena will never be you," I said. And thank God for that. People nearby heard. A ripple of laughter spread. Vanessa's face went crimson. She stormed out, knocking over a tray of champagne on her way. That night, Lena looked at me with a softness I'll never forget. "She's losing everything, Adrian. And you're finally free." Free. The word hit me like fresh air. Vanessa had gone from smug confidence to viral humiliation, from influencer darling to walking disaster. And yet, part of me knew she wasn't finished. Because Vanessa never admitted defeat. She only escalated. 2 years of peace, of growth, of laughter that didn't feel forced. Lena and I had built a life together brick by brick. Slow, steady, real. She'd grown her photography business into a gallery of her own, and I'd taken on projects that actually made me excited to get up in the morning. We weren't rushing, but we also weren't standing still. So when I finally got down on one knee in the middle of a quiet art exhibit I'd rented out just for us, Lena said yes with tears in her eyes. No drama, no games, just love. Of course, news of our engagement eventually made its way back to Vanessa. By then, she wasn't the Vanessa anyone remembered. After the Chad scandal, the fake engagement with Dr. Ryan fizzled out within months. Rumor was, He bailed after she showed up to one of his lectures and announced their wedding date to his classmates. He blocked her on everything, and she was left with a non-refundable dress and a pile of unpaid vendor invoices. Her influencer career never recovered. Brands stopped booking her. Followers dropped by the thousands. A few companies even publicly cut ties with her, citing unprofessional behavior. Her mom, Marjorie, still defended her on Facebook with long posts about haters and toxic exes, but even family friends started distancing themselves. At one point, Vanessa tried launching a podcast called Healing from Narcissists, but the only clips that circulated were ones where she ranted about me and Lena by name. It got pulled after a handful of episodes. The last time I saw her in person was at a grocery store. She was in sweatpants, sunglasses on indoors, arguing with the cashier about expired coupons. She didn't even notice me. But when Lena posted our engagement photos, Vanessa did. She left a comment under one of Lena's pictures. "Good luck. He'll do to you what he did to me." It got buried under a flood of congratulations. No one even entertained her anymore. And that was the poetic justice of it all. She had spent years trying to prove I was replaceable, but in the end, she was the one replaced. By peace. By happiness. By a love that didn't need theatrics to exist. The wedding we planned was simple. Small guest list, close friends, family that mattered. Nothing Instagram-worthy, nothing staged. Just us, promising forever, without the world watching. As I stood there, Lena's hand in mine, I thought back to the night Vanessa told me she could replace me in 24 hours. How smug she'd looked, how certain she'd been that I'd beg for her back. And now, 2 years later, she was nowhere to be found. Lena leaned close, whispering as the officiant spoke. "What are you smiling at?" "Nothing," I murmured, just thinking about how lucky I am that she let me go. Because losing Vanessa wasn't the tragedy I once thought it was. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. And as I kissed my wife the first time, I knew with absolute certainty this was the ending Vanessa would never write for herself. The real 24-hour challenge wasn't about who could replace who. It was about who could move on, grow, and build something worth keeping. And in that challenge, I'd already won. And with that, our story comes to an end. But the real story begins with your thoughts. What would you do if you were in this situation? Let me know in the comments.